Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Gamer Logic. As you can see, I am not in my console game room. I'm actually down in the basement arcade. We finally got some hot temperatures in Illinois and the humidity has invaded. So the console game room is very nasty right now, so I figured I'd retreat down to the cool recess of the basement here because I don't have to worry about the furnace kicking on and I can do my review in peace. So today we're actually going to be talking about a Famicom game that did not come out for the NES, but did come out for Game Boy in either 1992 or 1993, I believe. And that game was actually kind of a remake slash sequel. The game I'm talking about is Kid Dracula, which is a very fun game. And just to kind of tell you how I actually played it, I did play it on my NES through the NES Power Pack through a translated ROM. There isn't too much Japanese language in this game except for the mini games and I believe it's the 4th stage boss battle is all text. If you have a translation guide, you can play the Famicom version, no problem, but it's just easier to play the translated version, though I actually officially own a actual Famicom copy because I'm a huge fan of the game. Now, Kid Dracula is actually related to the Castlevania series. In Japan, it shares the same name, which I believe is Demon Castle Dracula Special, I think it is, or actually Kid Dracula over there. So its relation in the Castlevania series is small. Obviously, it's a spin-off, but there are some parts in there that if you're a Castlevania fan, it just kind of makes you laugh. I believe the final boss you fight is actually in Castlevania Symphony of the Night. The first level you actually play is you walking through the very first level of the original Castlevania in kind of a revamped fashion. And another cool feature is they're actually playing music, a revamped, more playful theme of the Castlevania 3 first stage, with that song being beginning. So it's a very cool homage to the actual series itself, and it's very fun. Now, is this like Castlevania? It's more of a kitted up version of it. And the best way to describe it is if you took Super Mario Brothers, the platforming and the playfulness of that, and you took Mega Man with getting all the different powers as you fight bosses, and then take Castlevania and you smash them together, you would get Kid Dracula. And obviously the bigger, bolder, cute characters kind of come from the Super Mario side of things as well as the platforming. You could say the same thing about the Mega Man thing. If you fight each boss and you beat them, you get a new power, so you can select a few different powers throughout the game, ranging from homing missiles to bombs to being able to flip upside down to being able to fly, which is very cool. And then of course you have the Castlevania elements where you're fighting monsters and stuff like that, though Castlevania would probably be the last thing I would compare it to just because of it really relates more to Mario and Mega Man. But all in all, they're all platformers, so you get what I mean. But overall, gameplay wise, it's very fun. I mean, obviously if you're combining all three of those games, you're probably going to have a really good experience. And it is fun, though it can be frustrating with some of the jumps. You thought for sure you were at the edge of a platform and you jumped and you fall to your death and you get really angry, but it's one of those games that gets you angry, but you just want to come back to it and play it again. And I guess we'll just kind of start through the control portion of it. Again, there's portions where you know you hit the jump button and you just didn't jump, or there's times you know where you charged a shot and it just doesn't shoot off. It's comparable to Mega Man, which Mega Man for the most part has very solid controls, and it's always debatable if it's the player or if it's something in the game that just quite didn't talk right to the controller. But overall the control is pretty decent. The graphics are awesome. Like I said, they're very cute, very fun. It's a very cool looking game on the NES. It's fun, it makes you happy to play. The sound is really awesome. It's got some really catchy tunes to it. The cityscape level where you're fighting aliens and stuff like that is really cool, as well as the remix theme from the beginning. Just tons of fun. And overall the experience is pretty even. There's your easy parts, there's your difficult parts. It ramps up probably near to the end of the last stage. It's probably one of the more difficult platforming sessions I've played in a Famicom/NES game in a long time, bar to Ancient Gaiden of course. But you're trying to get up in the spaceship and all these things are coming down and it's scrolling automatically and you got to keep jumping until you can get to the end of it. And if the boss kills you, you got to start over again, which is kind of annoying, but that was the most challenging stage of the game. Overall though, if you're a fan of Mega Man, Super Mario Brothers, even Castlevania, you really owe it to yourself to give this game a shot. I'm going to seek out the Game Boy version of this now, especially now that I hear that it's a sequel. But it's a lot of fun, and if you got an NES Power Pack, or you have a actual Famicom, or you want to emulate it, it's worth checking out, especially if you're a Castlevania fan. I love this thing, and I give it a 5 out of 5. Excellent game. Quite a shame that it never officially came out for the NES here in America. This has been another episode of Gamer Logic. I'm Mike Murtis from the Game Room. Peace.